Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the weekly wrap up slash pre-week analysis. Before I jump into it, let me give a quick disclaimer. Nothing that I share during this analysis is for financial advice. Everything that I share during this analysis is for educational purposes only. I repeat, I am not a licensed financial advisor. Nothing that I share during this analysis is for financial advice. This is for educational purposes only. Cool beans, cool beans. So let's get into it. So looking back over the midweek analysis, I told you guys Wednesday, right? We were here Wednesday looking at DXY, the dollar index. I told you guys that for Thursday and Friday, I expected price to pull back down into this daily candle discount array, right? Discount price levels, right? And I told you guys that I expected the high impacting news drivers that we had Friday to push Dixie to the upside, right? And I expected us to end the week bullish, right? So we can see that I was right for Thursday, but wrong for Friday, which is okay because the market does what it wants to do, not what my analysis says it's going to do. So once we seen price do this Friday off of news, right? Now we have to determine, is the dollar switching from being in a uptrend to now moving back down in a downtrend, right? And what is it targeting, right? Are we targeting this imbalance that we see in price here from September the 5th, right? Are we targeting this imbalance that we see here from September the 1st, right? Daily fair value gaps here and here, right? Or was this just a manipulation move, right? Caused by that high impacting news, right? As a way to squeeze out longs that might have been in the market here, and from here, right? So what I want to see to open up the week, right? I want to see if we can first of all get back above this daily fair value gap, right? If we get back above that daily fair value gap, I expect price to push up into Friday's premium price levels, right? And then I expect to see us react to those levels, right? Maybe pull back down into that daily fair value gap, push back up into that upper premium PD array level, and then continue to the downside to push back below the daily fair value gap, and then pull back up into the imbalance that will be created in this leg down, right? Before continuing lower there, right? So that's what I expect out of price for this week. I want to see us open up bullish, pulling back up into Friday's premium price levels, right? Now, common sense would tell you if we can't even break back above this daily fair value gap, which would now act as a daily inversion fair value gap because it failed, right? It failed on this daily move down. We closed well below it, right? I wouldn't say well below it, but we closed a fairly decent sides below it, right? Closing below these two daily candles, right? So if we can't even get back above that daily fair value gap, then I expect us to go ahead and show selling momentum to the downside, but very aggressively, right? So I expect us to attack this imbalance aggressively if we cannot break back above this daily fair value gap. Cool beans, that makes sense? I hope so. Cool beans. And the same way, if we push above this daily premium PD array level here and here, right? If we break through those aggressively and close above them, then I expect us to target the weekly premium PD array level, right? And we could be targeting this liquidity, liquidity void right here, right? Because price is void of price within that gap. There's no wicks or no candles moving through that gap, right? There's no price being offered on the other side of this gap right here, right? So if we break above these PD arrays, we would expect price to target these weekly PD array levels and potentially run up into this liquidity void, daily liquidity void, right? Is that a weekly liquidity void? I don't think so. Let me see. No, just daily. So that's what I expect out of Dixie going forward for this new upcoming trading week. Now let's look at our currency pairs, starting with Euro USD as always. Looking at Euro USD, I'm expecting the opposite out of Euro USD, right? So where I expect the dollar to continue lower this week, right? If we cannot break back above the daily PD array, right, on the dollar index, I expect us to continue lower. And definitely if we cannot break above the daily fair value gap, right, that I pointed out. So with that being said, I expect us to pull back down into Friday's discount PD array levels, right? And continue to the upside to target this imbalance and possibly this imbalance as well, right? Fairly simple, right? If we break through Friday's discount PD array levels, then I expect us to come back down into this BISI, as coined by Michael Huddleston, buy side imbalance, sell side inefficiency, right? And then we will see how price reacts to this buy side imbalance, sell side inefficiency once we get there. But first we have to see price deliver through those daily PD array levels down into that level, right? What I would like to see is what I would like to see in order for that to happen, or what would make me feel like that's what is going to happen, is to see price slice through those daily discount levels aggressively and also close below them. And if we get that close below them level, then I expect price to sell on down into this daily fair value gap that we see right here, aka this buy side imbalance, sell side inefficiency, right? Cool beans, cool beans. But I do expect us to pull back down into Friday's PD array. And we may only pull back down into the 62% daily PD array. And then we may start to see smart money reversals. That's what I'm always looking for when I come into these higher time frame PD array levels, right? Being that we are in a weekly uptrend, right? We've been in a weekly uptrend since the 1st of October. It is now the 1st of November, right? So we've been in a weekly uptrend. So I expect us to pull back down into a discount level of this weekly uptrend that we seen last week, right? And continue higher. That's what I would like to see. So let's see how that plays out, ladies and gentlemen. Same thing looking at GBP USD. Same thing, same scenario, right? Same scenario. I expect us to pull down into Friday's discount price levels, PD array levels, and continue higher, right? Now, I drew it all the way down to the weekly discount array levels, but I don't really want to see us pull down that low. I would like to see us pull down into the daily PD array levels and then start to see some smart money reversal profiles start to form, so we can start to look for entries back to the upside, targeting buy side liquidity here, right? And buy side liquidity here, right? And then we have this small daily fair value gap here that price could potentially reach up into as well. So that's what I'm expecting out of GBP USD. If we break below the daily and weekly discount arrays, then I would be expecting price to come down into this buy side imbalance, sell side inefficiency, right? And continue lower. But as you can see with the pound, we recently, last week or Friday, yesterday, rather, we broke above this swing high and we broke above this swing high, right? And we closed right at the upper level of this weekly fair value gap, right? So I'm expecting us to see some kind of retracement out of this very bullish, aggressive move that we had Thursday and Friday. I'm expecting to see a correction off of that if we're going to continue to the upside, right? If the market opens up bullish, right, I will look for the market to come back down and find support on the top of this weekly fair value gap and continue to the upside. Moving on to NZD, USD. Same thing. I'm expecting price to pull back down into Friday's daily PD array, discount PD array, right? And continue to the upside. All right. Looking at this buy side liquidity as a point of interest, right? And if we run that, we'll see how price reacts to that. If price break through that aggressively, then I would expect us to come back down on top of this swing high right here, right? Use that as a support to continue to the upside, right? But if price breaks below Friday's discount PD array levels, then I expect us to pull on back down into the weekly PD array level, right? And we will then see how price reacts to these weekly PD array levels. We have so much going on within the weekly PD array level. We have a monthly sell side liquidity that we broke back above. There's a level within that weekly PD array. We have a daily fair value gap from this candle's high to this candle's low within that weekly PD array. And so we have a lot going on. So if we do break below the daily discount arrays and close below it, I expect us to come down into the weekly PD array up into this range here, right? Up into this range here, right? And continue higher, right? But if we come down in this range, right, and we continue lower and we break below the 79% weekly PD array, then I'm going to expect us, of course, to run the sell side weekly PD array and come down and run this daily sell side liquidity from November of 2022, right? November the what? 3rd, right? So we could be making our way back around to last November, right? So we'll just have to see how price opens up. But I do expect us to open up bearish for currencies, pulling back down into a discount level of Friday's price range. Cool beans. Cool beans. Cool beans. Let's move on to futures. Let's look at ES, E-mini, S&P 500 futures. You can see exactly what I'm expecting out of ES to open up the week. I would like to see us open up bearish, cooling down into Friday's discount price levels, discount PD arrays for Friday's price action, right? Now, the way I got it drawn out is what I would like to see, but I'm also aware that price could very well respect Friday's discount PD array levels, and we could see price go up from there, right? Or we can see price do what I got drawn out. Or we can see price open up and just continue higher, right? And if that happened, we would just look for pullbacks to enter in off the pullbacks higher, right? But I'm expecting something like this because we have all this imbalance here, right? So if we're going back to the upside to target the upper end of this fair value gap, as well as this city here, right? And as well as this fair value gap here, right? We're not just going to shoot straight up there, right? We have to see some kind of correction in price first. So I can see price coming down, right, to this breaker block, this daily breaker block, right? Low, high, lower, low. Coming back up, retesting this daily fair value gap here. Coming back down one more time to run the weekly PD array levels, right? Maybe come down midway of that. You notice right here, we have an inversion daily fair value gap right here. So sitting inside of that, of those weekly PD arrays, right? So this is my logic behind why I think price will come down to this level, because we have so much imbalance going on right here, right? So what I'm expecting is a move down towards here for a smart money entry within these discounted price levels down here of this weekly range, right? And so we can see the higher time frame smart money reversal pattern that I've drawn out here. This low, high, lower low, higher high, right? And this area would be our entry when price pulls back down into the fair value gap that this up leg creates on the way up, right? And then we come back down and go higher. We have a monthly buy side liquidity up here, right? From the month of October. Right, buy side liquidity there for the month of October. So we created a low right here for the month of October, right? Broke back above this daily fair value gap very aggressively, right? Never even looked back at it, kept going, right? So I doubt we reach all the way back up here and leave this monthly buy side liquidity. So if we are going to go lower, I would think that smart money would want to capture this buy side liquidity before going lower, right? And if we're going to continue to go higher to take this monthly buy side liquidity and potentially fill in this fair value gap as well, right? Then continue lower, then man, I lost my train of thought there for a second, guys. I was saying that I don't think they would, if we're going to continue lower, I don't think they would leave this monthly buy side liquidity here, right? And if we're going to go higher, okay, I'm back on track. If we're going to go higher, right, I don't think that price is just going to open up and shoot up to run this monthly buy side liquidity in here. I think it's going to try to trap long chasers in price, right? So we may open up bullish, right? Like that's what price is going to continue to do, is just keep running bullish and then find resistance somewhere within this fair value gap right here, right? And then reverse to the downside, down into these discount price level, weekly discount price levels, and then continue higher to take out the weekly buy side liquidity if price is going to continue higher to take out those weekly, that monthly buy side liquidity, monthly buy side liquidity in these daily CBs that we see here, right? So that's what I'm expecting out of E-mini, right? I told you guys on the pre-week analysis that I wanted to see Thursday be bullish, right? I wanted to see us run up into this daily fair value gap, right? And I wanted to see us bearish on Friday. So you can see I was right for Thursday, but I was wrong for Friday. Okay, so well, it happens. Get over it, pips. It happens. So this is what I would like to see out of E-mini S&P 500 going forward. Opening up for the week, like we know the analysis can change from day to day, but this is what I would like to see for ES opening up. I would like to see us opening up and price making its way back down into these areas of inefficiency in the market. All right. Cool beans, cool beans. Let's look at NQ before I wrap this thing up. Right? Thursday, I told you guys that I wanted to see us push up into this imbalance right here, this daily fair value gap. And I told you Friday, I wanted to see us pull back down. Well, again, I was right for Thursday, wrong for Friday. What I am expecting out of NQ is the same thing I'm expecting out of ES. I expect us to pull down into these imbalances, this imbalance right here, and this imbalance right here, right? Now, price could come back down to this breaker block, and we could respect that and shoot all the way back up above this high without, coming back to retest the daily PD arrays that it broke through here, right? And continuing down. So this is, to be determined. If we come down and price do find support on top of this breaker, right? We want to see how aggressively it moves to the upside. If it blows back up through these levels and closes above them, then of course we're going to adjust the analysis and look for price to target this buy side liquidity and run back up into this monthly premium PD array level. We still have imbalance within this monthly PD array price level that we see here, 62 into 79, right? 62, 79. We still have an imbalance from this high, this candle's high to this candle's low, right? So if we do pull below these premium PD arrays down to this breaker block and pop back above them and close above them, that will be our area of interest, right? This buy side liquidity and this SIBI, this sell side imbalance, buy side inefficiency, right? Now, if we cannot get back above these daily PD array levels, right, when we pull back up, then we will expect price to pull back down into the levels that I have identified here as the weekly discount premium levels, right? And isn't it strange, or isn't it a coincidence that this monthly sell side liquidity seems to be right around the consequent encroachment of the weekly discount PD arrays? So I will be paying close attention to this level if price gets back down inside of it. We also have a daily inversion fair value gap from this candle's high to this candle's low. Price disrespected that fair value gap, right? Turning that into a daily inversion fair value gap, right? So if price come back down into that level is this inversion fair value gap is going to be a very strong support level that could slingshot price back to the upside. So you can see the smart money reversal, higher time frame smart money reversal that I got here. Low, high, lower low, higher high, and you would expect price to come back down into the fair value gap or BC that this price leg created on its way up. And we would be looking to long from within this area back up to buy side liquidity and monthly PD array levels and fair value gaps within the monthly PD array levels. So that will bring the weekly wrap up / pre-week analysis to a close. As always, if these reviews are adding any value to your lives whatsoever, please like, share, and most of all, subscribe. It really helps out a lot. If you would like to join my private Telegram group, where you have access to me 24/7 to text me, message me. You see other analysis that I do only for my group, real-time analysis that I send out for my group. You also get access to my Discord, which is for my group only. And you also get access to my trading community who has been with me for 2+ years. So if you would like to sign up for that, just visit precisionpipsllc.com precisionpipsllc.com, and click the upper right menu button. Go to register, scroll down to the silver package, and register. You would like to take my one-on-one mentorship, go scroll down to the technicals one-on-one mentorship and have at it. So with that being said, as always, I appreciate you guys coming out tonight, tuning in, getting this knowledge and empowering yourselves. Let your family and friends know you love them while they still here. Please. And as always, peace and love, everybody. You know